Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Handmade by Ying with Donna. Today is June the 5th, 2023, and it's 7 o'clock p.m. I have a very special guest with me tonight, Leo Ransom. And thank you, sir, for joining me tonight for a little sit and chat and spilling of the tea of all the goodness of your art. I'm telling you, what we've learned in the last few minutes is only the tip of the iceberg for what goodness awaits all of my subscribers. So thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to slip into the chat. It generally takes a few minutes to get our people in, but I'm going to welcome the ones that's coming in now. Candy Holbert, I was the first one to thumbs up today. Thank you, beautiful. Let me see. Janine, hello, sweetheart. I'm just skimming. Dahlia, hello, Donna, Joe, and Leo. Looking forward to another great interview. It's been a hot minute. I tabled them for a little bit, but now we're back at it again. Joe, the tech guy, welcome everyone. This gentleman is amazing. Wait until you see his work. That's my hubby. I'm telling you what, we are totally blown away. Looking forward to this interview. Don't forget to give the thumbs up for Donna and her friends. Thank you. Candy Holbert, hello. Hey, Joe, what do you know about Temu? Joe knows nothing about Temu, but email me at donna@handmadebyying.com. And I'll fill you in on what I do know, sweetheart. If you've got a special little question tonight, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And if it's something I can elaborate on, I sure will. Linda Denton, hello. Deneen, I bought from Temu. It was good for me. It just takes a bit longer than Amazon, pretty much. Roxanne Saxton, hello, everyone. Melina Montoya, hello, all. Candy, I've heard bad stuff about them. But yes, I've ordered before. I love Temu. I'm being honest. I don't mind the little bit of a wait that we do have. It's fine. It's just fun. It's like Christmas. The only thing I don't like, honestly, is when they ship our UPS guy or our USPS guy. They're not really careful with their packages. So they give it a good toss, and the boxes are cheaply made and things get smushed up, but it's nothing we can't handle or fix. Debt Free Quilter, hey, Leo. Marina, Judy Hayward, hello. Debt Free Quilters telling everybody hello. And Pat Strawhouse, hey, Donna, Joe, and Leo, joining from sunny Ontario, Canada. Welcome, beautiful. Okay, I'll email later. You go ahead and email me any of your questions, and if it's something I can answer, I sure will. If not, Ian, the off-kilter crafter, also does order, and he does represent them. I'm not sure if Ian has an affiliate link with them, but I can shoot him a text and find out, and I drop everybody's. It's all good. We share. Together we grow, together we sow. I'm Judy Herbert. Hello, Dahlia. Sewing Sensations by Shady Susan. Hello, sweetheart, and welcome back from your trip. I hope the graduation was fabulous. And there we go. Now we're off. So, the girls are going to tease me because I'm chewing gum. If I don't, I start to cough. So if you see that chewing gum in there, that's my girls. So they'll tease me. How did you ever get started into quilting? Just let me back up a second. I'm jumping the horse. Tell me a little bit about you, like husband, dogs, cats, pets. Give me a little bit of backstory on you, what careers you've had, and where you are today, and then we'll hop into the full interview. That way they get a little bit of the back history. And before I forget, my husband will be dropping the link tonight for Leo. He is on Instagram. He is in the description box as well below. So if one of my moderators would like to get that, copy and paste and drop throughout the evening, I'd greatly appreciate it. And he also is over on Facebook as well. And you are surely going to want to follow him on both of those social medias. Tell you, it's sure to please. So tell me a little bit.
Okay, like I was explaining to you earlier, you can come on over. He came back out. I told him that you invited him.
I would love to have him join us, just for a little bit, if he doesn't mind.
Anyways, this is my husband, Stephen.
Here we are.
Hello,
Hey,
Stephen, and welcome.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyways, he's my right hand. We have a dog named Sasha. She's a rescue.
That's
She
awesome.
she does not realize that she's a doggy. She thinks she's a princess.
And I'm sure she's not spoiled at all.
Oh, she's spoiled to the core. She even has a babysitter slash dog walker. And when I found her, he told me, he said, I know that you weren't looking for a dog. He said, but I'll watch her while you're at work so she's not at home alone. So
Oh,
he is now her Uncle Mickey.
oh, that's sweet.
But anyways, a little bit about me. I took home ec in high school. I learned to quilt from my home economics teacher. I ended up making 3 quilts with her before I graduated. After high school, I didn't really have the funds to continue with the quilting. So as life went on, I needed a quilt for a family reunion auction, and I created a memory quilt. And I couldn't believe that I still remembered how to quilt. So
Oh.
after that, I decided to take it up again full time. And at that time, the only thing available was Simply Quilts with Alex Anderson. So I had quite a few VHS tapes from where I would record because I was at work. And then I would sit there and I would play and pause, play and pause. And my very first quilt that I made was actually a 3D bow tie quilt.
Oh, I bet it's gorgeous.
Well, here it is 23 years later, and it's still not quilted. It's just the top still.
Oh, baby.
My goal is to try and get it quilted this year. I just really didn't know what I wanted to do with it. Also, when I started out, as I said, I had limited resources. So when I flip that quilt top around and I show people that this John Deere fabric is sewn with navy blue, black, cream, white threads. And I laugh because I'm self-taught.
Amen.
And anytime the quilt police are around, I tell them, you're going to fill up your book, so you might as well just put it away. Because
Exactly.
I don't play by anyone's rules. And
Yep.
I do whatever I see for the moment. So from there, tried connecting with African-American quilters. Didn't have much success in the beginning, but the local guild, I attended it, and their second meeting, their presenter was an art quilter by the name of Lola Jenkins. So I took a couple of classes from her, put my own spin on things, and I haven't looked back since.
And the sky is the limit, sweetheart. I'm telling you, I'm like many of my friends in the chat and many of my subscribers. We're all self-taught. I went to YouTube University and
Best place.
truth be told, I'm the COVID quilter. When COVID broke out, I had never sewed once in, I want to say maybe, and I'm stretching this, I didn't even like home economics. All of my friends will tell you I can't cook, sew, or do anything, but by God, I can keep a clean house. So when COVID broke out, I was working in the emergency room. My husband's safety was first and foremost. He's senior to me. And so I was going house to house, picking up supplies for my friends who did sew to make masks. They got so busy, they were like, you got to learn to sew. So I borrowed my granddaughter's sewing machine. We bought her and learned how to sew. And that was history in the making. So it's all this goodness came from COVID. A lot of my friends didn't start sewing until COVID.
Well, we have to start somewhere.
Absolutely. You got to start somewhere way back. So let me see. Shelly, hello, sweetheart. Welcome. Debt-free quilter. I am just giddy that someone from my neck of the woods is on your channel, Donna. It's Heather Grintz. Her channel name is the Debt-Free Quilter.
Okay.
She goes, I ran into him and I blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, no way, you didn't. She goes, yeah, I did. Shelley Clark, I remember watching Eleanor Burns on PBS. Hub said she sounded like she was teaching cats to quilt. I love how she goes step by step. And I'm telling you, I still pause when I watch Tiffany Goth over Tiffany's Quilting Life. I'll pause because she doesn't sell patterns or write them. It's all in her head. So if I want to make something she does, I pause and write, pause and write. Let me see. Everybody's saying Susie Gabbert woke up from a nap. Everybody's telling you hello. Hello to your guests, Susie. I'm telling you, you're going to be blown away. Show the bow tie quilt. Dell wants to know if it's possible. Could you show the bow tie quilt? She's never seen one.
Well, from my screen, I am having technical difficulties because I have a white screen.
We can see you clear.
Well, I can't see anything else. Hold on.
All right. So I'm going to keep talking about all of the goodness. Absolutely loved Eleanor Burns. So funny. Every time when she cuts a little piece off, she throws it behind her. I love her. That's what got me to watch her to begin with. She would just go, woo, and right over the shoulder. Mama Harden. Hello, everyone. How is everyone? Today, I'm looking forward to having SMS implant around the spine on Thursday. Absolutely. That is going to help you. Yeah, you have to pause Tiffany. She's hard to stop to breathe. I know, right? Let me think. Thanks, Joe. Mama Harden. Okay. Okay, mods. The links are now sharing. So if you can drop them, please do. So this is the bow tie quilt. And I'm telling you what, I didn't know anything about thread count. I didn't know anything when I learned. So all of mine has all of the different colors. That is gorgeous.
Thank you.
You did a phenomenal job.
Well, thank you. But seriously, on the backside, I get tickled because there is a bunch of the stitches that are done in black and navy blue threads.
I didn't know any better, and I've even quilted them and couldn't figure out why my thread was showing through on the white or the tan. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And then how am I going to pick that out? I left it right. I figure after it's washed a few times, no one's going to notice.
True.
Let me see. Doing well, working on a video for recent quilt from Becca. It's hard to get on here these days. Hello, Beth. Welcome, sweetheart. And I'm going to try to keep up with the chat, but for right now, I'm going to focus on our special guest. It's a blast. So I don't need it, honey. I've got my cell phone going too. But if you see something I need to know, that's okay. Just highlight it for me. So let me see. So you learned in school, basically. Joe, will you let him back in again? We're going to try to switch out maybe his equipment.
Well, I am switching over to my phone since I can't see anything on my laptop.
Okay. There, is that better, sweetheart? Let him get connected. We're used to hiccups.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Now you're connected, sweetheart.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Honey, it happens. Ours does that from time to time as well. So let me see. So you started sewing basically in school.
Yes.
And then you tabled it for a little bit. So then when you got back into it, what do you do for like your 9 to 5 now? Is it strictly your art?
Actually, not just yet, but hopefully in a couple of years it will be. But for now, I work for Hobby Lobby, and I've been there over 10 years.
Fabulous.
And I'm in the fabric department of all places.
So if I got to see, I got to slip out there all the way to Texas. See what you do. It's not live without technical difficulties. Absolutely. My laptop is allergic to Zoom. Everybody has issues, so they're all understanding. So can you remember, other than your memory quilt and the bow tie quilt, how many quilts would you say you've made over your duration, and what kind of quilts do you migrate to?
Actually, I am more partial to the art quilts, primarily portraits.
How did you ever get started into those?
Well, as I said, I took the class with Lola. And anyways, I just decided that if I wanted to be any good at this, that I was going to need to learn how to create patterns. So I have played with my photographs that I found online, you name it. And over the years, I've learned to tweak them until they're almost perfect. So I really love music, so I migrate more toward the musicians.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
Does he have the Jimi Hendrix quilt there?
He's jonesing over here. He goes, can you show any of them?
The Jimi Hendrix quilt. It's here, but
Steven's looking for it, but I can show you the Jimmy the Junk Hendrix.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We're going to take a tour, everybody.
This is
That
my
is
Jimmy the
phenomenal.
Junk Hendrix. And the reason why it's junk is because I always wanted to embellish. So I've got stones, there's a zipper, there's a dragonfly, there's a rose, a key. It's just any and everything that I found that's glued on there.
That is phenomenal. I would have never thought. I'm just like blown away.
The only one on here old enough to know who Jimi Hendrix really was.
Did you hear him? He's probably the only one who knows who Jimi Hendrix actually was. Everybody's going, wow. So have you ever, what other quilts do you have, or hangings? How do you do yours, the portrait art? Oh my word.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Stephen wanted y'all to see this one. This is my Chadwick Boseman. And I created this one about 30 minutes after I found out about his passing, because I never knew that he was sick.
Oh,
And I haven't quilted this one yet, but I'm looking forward to quilting this one.
that is phenomenal.
Thank you.
I have a friend, Teresa from over at Teresa Louise I Quilt too. She's working on a portrait of one of her pets, but I've never actually met anybody that actually does this. I've saw them hanging in quilt shows and whatnot, but I'm just mesmerized. I could stand there for hours just looking at how did they do that, you know? Is it layering? How do they actually make this happen? It's incredible.
I use a number of different techniques, from silhouette to layering to confetti collage to actual collage. So it's just whatever the mood hits me when I start to work on a piece.
It just blows me away. I'm just still mesmerized that I would have never put a zipper or a key or anything, but my work's not near to your level. It's beautiful. So what has been the most challenging that you've done so far?
Oh, do you really want to see that? Because
Absolute.
this is Serena Williams serving up the world. And I started this piece the year that she was Sports Illustrated's Athlete of the Year.
Holy moly.
I was still learning when I created this piece.
Holy goodness.
And I still have some more tweaking that I want to do to it before I quilt it, because I don't like the way her fingernails are. There's a few things about her hair that I want to change out. So as soon as I finish tweaking those areas, then she's going on the long arm so that I can get to work on her.
That is breathtaking.
Thank you. But this is actually one of my favorites, and I've been needing to get it completed for a long time.
Wow. Everybody's just blown away. Such great talent. Absolutely, Pat. Leo, do you hand piece? How do you do it? Everybody's asking. How do you make your portrait quilts is another. I'm going to hit the questions, but take your time in answering them.
Well, like I said, I had to learn to make patterns first. And when making those patterns, it's basically grayscaling and posterizing. Sometimes I have to tweak them by sharpening them. From Luke Haynes, I've learned to use the Gaussian blur. I don't know, there's just a lot of little bitty things to focus on. In the last couple of years, I have started using an app on my phone called Photo Room, where I can take the backgrounds out and just focus on the subject itself.
Oh, wow.
So I have an Android phone, and I have about 4 or 5 apps on my phone that I use to tweak all of these photos. And then once I make a pattern out of them, I'll go to like Office Depot or FedEx and get them blown up. Well, Office Depot went up on their prices. So I now have a program on my laptop, which is called posters.com.
Oh.
And so I'll take and upload my pattern to that. And then I'll tell it like how many sheets wide I want it to be. And then it gives me an idea of how big it's going to be. And then I just take all of those pieces or sheets and I tape them together and create my pattern.
That is just mind-blowing to me. Dahlia says it sounds kind of like Photoshop. Yay,
It
Android
is.
baby. Susie Gabbert says, yay, Android. Unbelievable.
But it pretty much is a Photoshop program. In the beginning, I couldn't afford Photoshop, so I used a program called GIMP, G-I-M-P. And it basically does the same thing as Photoshop. I've just learned that you have to uncheck a lot of boxes to make sure that you don't get spyware or malware.
Oh, see, I would have it all jacked up. I'd have his computer to where it'd never run again. I don't do that. I go on and do, hey, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. So what is your current project that you're working on? Can you spill the tea on that?
Where is he? Well, when you say current project, you might want to add an S on the end of that.
I was gonna say many, but I bounce projects all the time.
I normally have at least 13 going at any given time.
You sound so much like me, but I'm bouncing.
Can you grab this one over here? That rod fell, so I hadn't taken it off yet. But this is one of the ones that I've been working on.
Oh my word. I love that.
And I'm going to show you something. The fabrics in the background are hand dyed. I've been learning to hand dye my own fabrics.
Really?
Yes, just another little touch of me being added to it. But when I create a piece, I like to use a lot of prints just for the texture. And when I get close up on this one, this is actually a brown fabric that has leaves in it.
Really? And it makes the beard look so wow.
Yes. And then I am working on a commission piece that I can't show right now, but I am working on this one.
I am blown away.
Oh, thank you.
That is impeccable. So how I'm getting text messages. Now, how does he get the fabric to stick to the fabric?
Actually, that's a good question. And I use Transweb. I'm done with that one. Thank you. I use Transweb. A lot of people will use like Misty Fuse and stuff like that. Well, I like the Transweb because it is a webbing. And when I start to quilt it, the needle just pushes the webbing apart. So
Oh,
it goes through the fabric and just pushes the webbing apart. And we are working on a website for me because I have a lot of students that like to use the items that I use. I am
right.
I'm the king of grunge and transweb. So on my website, I'm going to be selling kits with grunge, transweb, the scissors, and the 14 millimeter rotary cutter that I use. It's just going to have a lot of the notions that I use for
That
my
are
clients.
special to you. Right.
Yes.
I think that's fabulous.
And this is for your husband.
All right, Joe.
All right.
He is sitting here, he's jonesing. Oh
Well,
my
this one was
word.
hanging up and I forgot where it was hanging.
Oh my goodness.
The best guitar player ever.
He's like in heaven. He's like, he can leave it there.
Well, tell him I am going to be kind of a weirdo, and this is my selfie.
No way. Wow.
I took 32 photos standing in my bathroom mirror, and it took me 32 selfies to get this one picture in order to create my own selfie.
That is phenomenal.
But everyone kept saying, they said, you need to do a selfie. You need to do a selfie. And I'm not that person.
Right. I've got guests who want to know, do you teach classes?
Yes, I do.
Do you do them online or do you do them in Texas?
I am hoping to start doing them online by the end of summer. But for now, they are in person. I do a lot here in Texas, but I have traveled to other states and taught there. I just recently in February went and taught at QuiltCon in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh,
Woohoo! Are you coming to QuiltCon 24 in Raleigh?
No, I didn't understand the process, so I didn't get in on the teaching schedule. But I still might come just so that I can enjoy the show and maybe take a couple of classes.
I'm going for that too. Yep, absolute. You have to let me know if you're there and we'll catch up. That would be fabulous. Ian's going to be with us in our group. So
it blows my mind that you know Ian.
Oh, I just love him to pieces. He's coming to the East Coast on the 14th and I'll get to have dinner with him. I just love him. He's like a bonus son to me.
Everybody wants to adopt him.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. He is just everybody's neighborhood sweetheart.
He is.
And he's such a free spirit. And that's what I love about him. Absolutely. I would love to get you here on the East Coast to teach that. My God, that's beautiful. But I don't know if anybody would be able to keep you here that long. Because I would make you stay until it was beginning to end, which we're talking a few years, right? My goodness.
I've had some gills that they've all gotten together and I would go and, like, if all three of them weren't speaking within the same week, I would go and speak at one of them, and then I would teach a workshop to like all 3 or 4 of their gills.
How fabulous.
I have had gills combined just to get me there.
That's fabulous. We've got a large guild here. It consists of about 8 little ladies in my county. And I'm not kidding. They still hand quilt.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I go out of town to learn. I die from Sister Chicks. I like to chill in the background of the sewing room. Something different. I'm working on a special project for Tracy. It's her challenge quilt. Hello, T Quilts. Do you know T as well? She's in the house telling you hello.
I do not.
Yeah, you'll have to check her out. T Quilts.
Okay.
You will not be disappointed. And I'm telling you what, she's diamond to me. I just love her. Let me see. She does, she has a lot of African prints and a lot of goodness over at her channel you would be mesmerized by. So when we end tonight, when we end tonight, let's talk before, don't hang up when we get finished. Need Marley pattern. My husband would love it. Absolutely. It's going to be a blast. So let me see here. What is the hardest one that you've worked on so far? It looks like you like to challenge yourself. So like the easiest one you've done and then off to the hardest ones.
I don't know as far as the hardest. I've had some that I've struggled with them to a point where I've had to sit them to the side. And when I say sit them to the side, I mean like for a year or two.
Oh, see, that I can't. My OCD makes me have to do it like right now. I have to pick it apart. Like I'm doing a quilt for a friend right now. She wrote her first pattern. So I spent this afternoon, I cut it out and Joe and I did a few records and I just threw it up on the wall. So there's a few things that I don't like about my color placements. Her pattern's fine. It's supposed to be a strawberry, but I don't like the way my top looks and I don't like my colors here. So I'm going to be changing it up quite a bit. And she just came in the house. Nice to meet you, Leo. Tracy at the Sewing Channel. If you haven't met her yet, she's a sweetheart. You need to check her out as well. She has over 100,000 subscribers and she's always got something good going on over there.
Okay.
You have already missed some of his art quilts, Tracy. And I'm telling you what, blown away, girlfriend, blown away. You'll be able to check him out over on Instagram. T Quilts is one of the most generous people I've ever met. She's a true gem. Absolutely. She's a child of God. And I'm telling you what, she's amazing. And can I get you to show the Jesus again? Tracy's in the house. I would just love for her to be able to see that and die of sister chicks. These ladies are like me. We just love quilting. Look at that, girls. I'm telling you what, is that not phenomenal? And when he gets closer, wait until you see what the beard's made out of. Is that not? It's mind-blowing. The talent is just you. I've saw to where you can go online and drop a picture, and I've dropped a few of the Jesus pictures to do the little pixels.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of the website, but every time they send it to me in the email, it doesn't look anything like what I had envisioned. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And they're like, when I email them, I'm like, but this doesn't look right. Well, once you add your color, no, I'm not paying for this. No.
Right.
Let's try it again. I love Jesus in quilting. Absolutely. I'm telling you right now. Hi to all. We love you.
Eventually, I want to have a show of all of my Jesus quilts.
I tell you what.
Go ahead.
You'll make me cry.
Well, who is?
Secretary.
Yeah. Stephen is going to dig out one of my confetti collage quilts, which is Jesus Christ Crown of Thorns. And it was in the Sacred Threads exhibit.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at that.
I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh.
And what I did on this one is I found some fabric with all of the different names for Jesus. And I just fussy cut them and started placing them throughout his image.
You did such an outstanding job.
Thank you. And basically all I did with that one, I'm done with it, babe. What I did with that one.
Thank you, husband.
I drew the image onto the background fabric, and then I just started filling in pieces any and everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, it was that simple.
Oh my God. I'm like everybody else. They want to give you a great big old hug.
I love hugs.
Oh my gosh. I'm just blown away. That's one I would attempt. Anytime you got Jesus in it, I'm right there. Whew. Guess who, Nancy? Everybody's still blown away. I told you guys this was going to be phenomenal.
I appreciate you all.
Oh my. I've been waiting to get you on for a hot minute, and life and things, But phew, I'm glad we have time tonight that we could hook up and you could share your wealth of knowledge.
Well, thank you.
Oh, I'm telling you what, you're not disappointing me at all. I don't know about their subscribers. I love you guys, but I'm focused on my interview tonight. I'm going to be a channel hog, okay? Simple, hard, like, no, these are not simple quilts, I'm telling you. How long would you say, because you're experienced, I'm getting messages on my cell now, to do the Jesus quilts? If you're going to start selling stuff on a website, if you scratched it out, this is the question. Would he be able to demonstrate? Because this is blowing my mind, so that we could all do this and have Jesus back in our sewing rooms.
Oh, wow.
That's heavy.
I
That's
wish
heavy.
that I could demonstrate tonight, but that would have to be another time.
I think what they're saying is kind of like they're going to start stalking you now. And it's okay. This is a good way.
Hey,
But they kind of want to know, like, if you could recreate that one. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
if you're going to do a website, can you sell that?
Yes.
I can bring you back over on my area for a long Zoom for anybody that buys it from you.
Okay.
And you can teach it. I'll do the Zoom. You teach it, baby.
Okay, that sounds
But they're
great.
going to they have to pay you directly. We'll
That's
host
not
the
a
Zoom
problem.
and they pay you.
That is not a
You
problem.
and I'll work it out.
Okay.
I would do that in a New York minute with you.
Okay, and I've told you about me having dreams and
Yes.
ideas coming to me. Well, this one, hey, will you do me a favor and grab reflections too? Right there.
Janet
This
Johnson. Yes, these are all his designs.
This one came from a Snapchat conversation with a friend of mine who lives in Colorado. And I've already done one in color, but I decided to do one in black and white. Well, one night I decided that I was going to weave this.
Holy sweet Jesus.
And I'm not done with the weaving of it, but it's one of those that it's taking me a little bit of time, but I'm having a blast. And I want the two of them to hang together so that people can see the detail that they're missing on the weaved one. And then this just gives it a totally another look.
That is, now is that all like strips and?
Well, what I did was I created the piece, and then I decided to cut it up and weave the strips into it. So once I finish weaving all of the strips into it, I'm going to put a small border around it, and then I'll quilt it.
You have such a vision.
Well, Stephen ran into the house to get the other one that is in color so that you can see the two of them together. Like I told you earlier, I have a lot of my work hanging throughout the house. Why go buy artwork when you have your own?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am just like.
But if you want, I can show you a few others.
You can show us. We got all night, baby. I have no one else coming on behind me tonight. It's you and me, kid.
Well, this is my Johnny Cash walking the line.
Oh, my God.
Oh, holy moly. And you
Unbelievable.
nailed that exactly.
And what I love about that is I used a variegated thread to quilt those lines in there. And I like the way that they appear and disappear.
Oh my gosh. I love variegated thread, but I've never had mine do what yours does.
Well, that was
Oh
an
my.
experiment, and I am so happy with how it turned out.
Absolutely.
This is Reflections 1.
Wow. And that's
That
the
is-
weaving too.
That's the original. And then the other one I did in black, whites, and grays, and I weaved into it.
Mm.
And then I'm just going to use Stephen as my easel for the moment.
Stephen, thank you. I'm sorry we're sending you all over the house. That is darling.
This was my first major win. And I've had people offer to buy it, but it is so hard to let go of it because of the memories and the value, sentimental value it has to me.
Right. Sometimes you can't put a price tag on stuff. You just can't.
So it's taking a while. I have created a panel. It's a 16 by 20 panel that I am going to be selling that on my website as well, because a lot of people love this piece and they always want a copy of it. I've stretched some onto canvas and people have framed them and hung them on their walls.
Oh my goodness. Janet Johnson asked, do you sell patterns?
Well, I haven't really started writing patterns yet. And that's my next step, is to start doing that. And after that, I would like to write a book.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you, it'd be a knockout.
Well, thank you.
That makes me cry. Everybody's saying the same thing. You keep Jesus in it, buddy, and you got us all hooked. I'm telling you. When I first started my channel, everybody says, don't talk about Jesus. You'll get booted off. You know what? He brings us to it. And he's kept us on.
And
wow.
I believe that. This was my second biggest win. And that last one and this one, they both traveled the US considerably.
Wow.
But the story behind this one is that I lost this eye when I was working on the piece. And I haven't drawn anything since high school. And it took me about 30 minutes to recreate that eye to the exact scale. But I'm proud of myself because I did it.
Absolutely. That is mind blowing.
Okay. And then I am going to show you another confetti collage. And this is actually my business logo quilt.
Oh, holy moly.
This has over 5,403 pieces in it.
Wow.
I bet you can't believe that I counted those.
I would believe anything at this point. You've got me just like totally blown away.
And then I don't know if I'm really supposed to show this or not. I'm done with that one. I am going to be teaching a 3-hour class for it's African quilt fabrics, but she does a summit. And the summit is July 5th through the 8th. So I am going to be teaching a 3-hour workshop, and I'm working on everything right now, but this is kind of the model of the project for the class.
Wow.
But this is my Nubian goddess.
That is gorgeous.
The dress
You're going to need to get me a charger.
And her crown are all African fabrics. So I'm starting to work with some African fabrics now.
That is gorgeous.
So hopefully they don't get on to me for showing that.
I'm only a little fish in the big pond of YouTube. Hey guys, where I come from, snitches get stitches. Don't go selling him out. Totally blown away. Debt Free Quilter saying yes, yes, patterns and books. And trust me, she's close enough to you. She'll be on the line with me going, hey, book's coming.
Okay.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
No way. No.
That's right. And I had a judge that told me that she didn't like the color that I did the face.
Are you kidding? I picked it right out.
Well, she did not like it.
Are you kidding?
It's fine because I create for me. I like putting them in shows for people to see. And if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea.
Okay, so someone, Tracy, so can you take any picture and turn it into a quilt?
As long as the picture is of decent to good quality, it is very possible to turn it into a quilt.
There you go. I'm not doing it. I'm going to wait and be taught.
And you can't see this one right now, but this is my Lady Day quilt. And you can only see the bottom of it right now. I need to finish quilting right along here, and I've got to do the rest of her dress. But I am doing this free motion, and this is me stippling. So I'm kind of proud of my stippling.
I think it's phenomenal. Now, what kind of a long arm do you have?
Actually, I have a Knowlton Fun Quilter. I didn't get the throat size that I wanted, but I didn't need anything big since I really don't do that many gigantic quilts.
Right. You got what you need.
Yes. And the computer that I have on it, I still think I do more free motion than I do with the computer.
Yeah, mine's not computerized either. And some friends are telling me, yeah, that's the way to go. I do a lot of ruler work in free motion, and I'm comfortable.
I haven't tried the ruler work yet, but I've got the ruler table. I just need to invest in the rulers.
Right. It's an investment, but I'm telling you what, once you start playing with ruler work, you won't go back. I love ruler work. Everything you do is amazing. Leo, you are such an artist. Thank you for sharing your talent with us. I love your Ruth B. Yep.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry they didn't, but my audience does. Does Leo have a website yet?
Not just yet, but I am really working hard on trying to get one up and running.
And that will come. That will come.
But yeah, they can go to my Facebook page, both my personal and my business page, because on Facebook, it's Lions Den Quilting. And then on Instagram, it's Lions Den Quilting. And you can see a lot of my work on all three of those pages.
I'm just adding this so I don't forget, because somebody will ask me.
Oh, and the one thing that I didn't share with you that I am so proud of is what ended up being my COVID quilt. I had created it before COVID ever hit. And it sat around for about 4 years. And I had created two portraits of my cousin Cedric. And I did one in black, whites, and grays, the other one in tones of blue. Well, I spliced them both in the same exact areas, and then I put them back together, alternating the pieces.
No way.
Yes. And my first year to enter QuiltCon, which was 2022, I won the applique category.
That's awesome.
And apparently there was a representative from the International Quilt Museum that was there, and she studied that quilt and as of December of this last year, I sold that quilt to the International Quilt Museum for their art exhibit.
Did you?
Yes.
Fabulous.
It
To
only
be
got
reached out and handpicked. Mind blowing.
but it only got to be in 5 shows, and every show it was in, it won.
I'm telling you what, your work needs no introduction, Leo.
Good, thank you.
T Quilts is in the house, and she's even said, "Great presenter choice, Donna." I tell you what, sometimes you gotta wait in line. The guy gets a little bit busy and things get pushed back. But I told y'all I had a special guest in June, and I'm telling you what, I hope that he has blown you away just like me. Wow, you are a superstar, Leo. Everybody is loving your work.
Thank you.
Absolute. So we've got a website coming tentatively late summer. And that's going to have all of your goodness. You and I are going to work behind the scenes, and we're going to create a little bit of Jesus.
But yeah, I am creating this website because there are some of these pieces that I really want to sell in order to create room for other pieces.
Yeah, my husband says when one comes in and you make one, we kind of got to get them to go out the door. You can only store so many, and mine are like quilts. They're made to be loved, made to be used. Yours is art. There's quite a difference.
Well, one of my friends told me a few years back, she says, you need to start selling. She says, you are a creator. You're not a collector.
Right.
And I am now finding that to be true.
Yeah, at first you want to these are my babies. You don't want to let them go. You know? I get it. I've got 2 quilts that will never leave my grip until I take my dying breath. And if they left the house, I think I'd stroke. But other than that, everything else is free game. I just have I won my quilt contest, took first place ribbon. That has never even been on a bed or it's insured. I love it.
Definitely.
And then my koala, those 2 are never leaving my home.
I do not blame you there.
Yep, I think we have those special ones that are near and dear. Absolute. So over your tenure of not a quilter, but an artist, how many pieces would you say you've created if you could just like throw a number in the air and it's stuck?
If I throw a number in the air, I would say 140.
Wow.
Do you label your work?
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus. Because I've learned through watching so many other channels, it is so important to put a label on it, but not just your label. You add a number, and then I'm a little OCD, my friends might say, but I put my label, I have a number on it, and I keep it logged. That way, God forbid, when I'm no longer in existence, if someone says, hey, I got this quilt and it's got your mom's name on with number 1, did she really make it? They can always refer back to it, what year, and it'll say, it gives all the information, the fabric line, the pattern, just little OCD there. But
mine
if
is
someone
not
ever wanted to look it up, they would have all the info.
Well, mine's not quite that detailed. And I have even put like a temporary label on one just so it has a label until I can get the actual label on there.
Right. Susie, he does not have a YouTube at this time, but we're not shutting the door there yet. I haven't finished talking to him yet tonight. Just saying. Haven't twisted that arm back here. But
He would do well on you.
he would do fabulous.
Very well.
Just fabulous. But he does have Instagram, and his link is in the chat. The girls have been dropping it throughout the evening, and he's also over on Facebook, sweetheart. But look for him to come to the Dark Side YouTube. Kicking and screaming. So do you have your own studio within the house or out of the house?
No, it is outside, and I actually paid it off today. So
Woohoo! Progress.
My husband Stephen and I, we actually did all of the remodeling and renovation to this place.
Awesome. I tell you what, it looks really nice.
Well, thank you. But
Yeah.
he's built houses for Habitat. We met at the theater here in Sherman. He was building sets there. I was costume designing.
How cool is that? How long have you guys been together?
October will be 14 years, October 16th. And March 20th, which is spring equinox, was actually our second wedding anniversary.
Oh, how cool is that? Congratulations. The sewing channel says it would be neat to see your work in action on a YouTube channel. That's high regards from Miss over 100,000 subscribers. That's high regards from Miss Tracy. I dearly love her like a bonus sister. She is my mentor. And
Well,
when I need advice, I pick the phone up and I'm like, okay, I'm lost. What do I do?
That's what I was going to say. I might need to talk to Miss Tracy.
Yep, she is always available to help anybody, anyway, and she gives the best advice.
Okay.
Yep, and I tell you what, she's been a godsend to many of us, whether she realizes. Yep, her footprints on my heart for the rest of it. Her and T Quilts, let me see. Sister Chicks is amazing. There's not one YouTuber that I've ever met yet that doesn't have an open book or an open dialogue that you can't ask them. How did you get started? Where did you come from? And honestly, you can go down through my interview segments and you'll learn so much. Tracy's been interviewed by me, Dia Sister Chicks, Ian, you've got a good network.
It would do very, very well.
Everybody's in here going, yeah, you would do fabulous. Are you familiar with Laura Hines' college work and patterns? She does many projects and I really like your portraits. Do you do some objects like she does or more of the portraits?
I do more of the portraits, but I actually bought like a closeout of Laura Hines patterns. My very first one was the octopus. And I got a little creative with it because when it came to the eyes, I had some camera fabric. So I cut out the lenses and that was the octopus's eyes.
How stinking cool is that?
But I was a little over enthusiastic and I did the 54-inch square one instead of the small one. So it's taking forever. It still needs a background, but the octopus himself is done.
Oh, wow. So next hard question is, I've got it up here on my screen. Okay. He does fabulous work. Do you do all of your own quilting for all of your own projects, or do you send out of the house?
For my competition ones, I don't feel like my quilting has reached that level that my idea can be brought to life with my quilting. And that's something that I'm still working on. So my personal quilter, his name is Richard Larson. He is a national award-winning long armor. And so far, I have not given him a thing that, even though it was a challenge, that he didn't produce a major wow for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The next one is, how many projects would you say that you've got left unfinished at the moment?
Not counting quilts, I would say that I roughly have about 35.
Is that just wall hangings or is that just flimsies? They're calling flimsies, they're quilts, and then the rest is your art.
Actually, both, because the flimsies are the quilts. I know that I've got at least 10 or 12 that need to be quilted. And that's not counting the bow tie quilt.
That bow tie, I'm jonesing to see how you do that one. I'm telling you, that's going to be
I am still thinking about that one.
Yeah, a friend of mine told me take a picture of it, and then if I got my iPad, I could blow that picture up, and then what is that pencil thing you got me? It's the pen that goes with the iPad, so that
The
you can
stylus?
draw on it,
Okay.
and it's like a stylus, but it's really thin lines, and you can fool with it. I'll show you when I get offline. But I'm telling you what, it's the best investment because we have to do is blow up a picture, like snap a shot, and then you can see how you want to quilt it. If you don't like what you drew, you just erase it. No harm, no foul. It's amazing. So, with all of that being said, is there anything else that you're hiding back there from us?
Actually, out here, I would say no. In the house, I still have like my I Love Lucy, my Ruby Bridges, my Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, opposite ends of the spectrum. And I want to tell you the story about that one, even though it's not out here.
It's okay.
They both had two different types of protesting. One was peaceful, the other one was not quite so peaceful. And we were sitting in church one Sunday, and I kept thinking, don't worry about it because it's hanging and you'd have to take it down. But I was thinking, what other factor can I add to that? Because a lot of my exhibition quilts, I like to put a lot of symbolism into.
Right.
So we sang the song, Jesus Loves the Little Children of the World. I came home and cut out stick figures, red, yellow, black, and white, and I put them all over the quilt. Well, my mom called me right after I had oiled the machine and ran it a little bit. And when we get on the phone, it's a minimum of a 30-minute conversation. I don't know how long we talked that evening, but when I hung up the phone with her, I looked down and there was an oil spot in the very center of the quilt. I pulled out the Dawn. I did everything I could to try and get it out, and I couldn't. So the Serena Williams quilt that I showed you, where the world is her tennis ball, I really wanted to make that tennis ball bigger. So I stole the world from Serena and placed it over that oil spot.
How awesome.
So that was all of the little kids from around the world.
Amen. I love that. Can he bring us in the house so we can see all of his others that he has hung up?
No,
I would love to see Lucy. Not tonight, but I tell you what, I promise you, I'll twist his arm. I'll haggle, we'll get him back. I promise.
If they'll go to my pages, they'll see Lucy on there.
You'll see Lucy on his page.
But
so
yeah,
all you gotta do is put him down.
I
Don't
so
go
much
friending him
working.
on Facebook. Not his personal one anyway. You got to do the business.
They can go to either one. I don't mind.
Yeah, be careful what you say.
But yeah, I do so much creating when I'm not at work that I'm not the greatest of housekeepers. So yes, that's why you can't see my house and you can't see
No,
Lucy.
it's all good. No, we've settled it. No.
I'm just going to admit it. I'm not a housekeeper.
You don't have to be. You're a creator. That's all you got to be good at. Create. Drop job. Excellent interview, Donna and Leo. What an excellent hour to listen and see the beauty that can be done with fabric and imagination. Absolutely. I'm telling you. It is, thank you, Susan. She just dropped his Instagram link. So I implore upon you before we wrap up this interview, click on that link and start to follow. Inside of that link, you are going to see nothing but greatness. You'll see pictures. You'll see a lot of fabulous information there. And from time to time, slip over and check out his Facebook. He is welcoming you into his world. I, on the other hand, haven't told him. No. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All jokes aside, yeah, check him out on Facebook too. We are going to do our best to get him over here onto the YouTube side of the house. We'll see what happens. No promises. But seriously, if you are interested in this Jesus quilt that we're talking about, this wall art, please shoot me an email at Donna@handmadebying.com. If we can have enough interest, I will implore upon twist arms and we'll set prices. We'll set a date or a month or 6 months. We'll work it out. And we'll see if we can get enough of you together and we can do some Zoom classes. We'll work it out. But y'all got to make it happen if you want it. If you want it, you be prepared. Drop it. I'm interested in any Jesus pattern. Praise. Absolutely. So like I said, email me at Donna@handmadebying.com. Write Jesus in your subject line. That's all I need to know is Jesus. We get enough of them, I'll give him a count within the next week or so. If that number is where he feels it needs to be, we'll start talking moolah, because no one works for free. And we'll provide the Zoom. He'll provide the talent. You guys show up. And you got to pay him to get the link. That way it's pretty clear. Money. Talent.
Well, this now, he does not work for free.
He's like, what? We got to pay. I believe most quilters have messy houses. At least mine is messy. Tracy, my goodness, if a dust bunny falls on the floor, you got the Hoover out. I love her. She's going, dude. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up because I would like to have some time alone with Leo, and that doesn't sound right, but I do. We got to talk private. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for hopping on tonight. It's been a fun, fabulous interview. I'll check the books, see what works for both of us to get back together again. And no, you're not going in his house. My eyes only. My eyes only over here. But I'll let you live vicariously. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you back again real soon. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you. Oh.